Welcome back. You're watching Up Front. Reading a pregnancy test for yourself is a luxury denied to thousands of blind and partially sighted women. Many blind women have always had to rely on someone else to read the results for them, compromising their right to privacy. But this is all set to change. British designers have built a prototype pregnancy test that will communicate the results via a tactile pad rather than conventional digital readouts. For more on this, Secretary of Blind SA's Youth Committee, Irene Azwifanele-Mashele, joins us now. Irene, thank you very much for your time. When we think of empowering blind or partially sighted women, our imagination rarely reaches past the basics of accessibility and mobility. But what about the truly meaningful moments in life, like finding out if you're going to be a parent? Surely that should have been a priority long ago.
Good afternoon. Thank you once again. Blind SA is excited about the product because it is accommodative to blind and partially sighted women. Blind women would be able to independently utilize the product without the assistance of the next person, which actually guarantees privacy, as we are aware that privacy is the constitutional right that all South Africans are entitled to. However, the challenge will be the pricing, because most blind women in South Africa are unemployed, which would make them not to afford their product. If the government can intervene through subsidizing the product, the pricing challenge can be resolved. All in all, we thank the improvement of technology because a number of challenges facing blind women are defeated. Thank you.
Irene, is this product available in South Africa yet? We understand it's just sort of in the development phase. Do we know when blind and partially sighted women in South Africa will be able to use this product?
For now, we don't have a lot of information about the product. As I read on the article, the product is in Britain. So we don't know when it's going to be accessible in South Africa.
How do you think this would change women's lives? You've said there is a challenge in terms of affordability and that government needs to step up to help subsidize the product. But once it's available, what kind of impact do you think it would have?
It's going to make a great impact, because most blind and partially sighted women, we encounter problems when it comes to privacy. We don't have privacy. So at least this one will make us to, maybe let's say, give me an example. I test it at home and then I'll be the first one to see the result. Unlike that, I'll need to have assistance from the next person. So it's a very, very, very great breakthrough for the blinds and the partially sighted women.
Irene, where else, in terms of empowering blind and partially sighted South Africans, are we dropping the ball? You speak about privacy as being something that's not very accessible to blind and partially sighted women. What else can we change to make this a reality?
We can change a lot of things. Let's say, for instance, I'm going to talk about our government institutions. Most of our government institutions, they don't have accessible information like Braille. You'll find out that an article or leaflet is written in a normal way which only a sighted person can see. So at least if our police stations, our social developments, municipal buildings, the information that is written straight, like for normal people, should also be accessible in Braille and also in sign languages. That's my opinion.
And as part of, you're the Secretary for Blind SA's Youth Committee, how far are you in terms of engaging with government to get that kind of work done on the grassroots level all across South Africa?
We are getting there. We started this campaign last year on Women's Month. I remember we had a workshop where we had women from Limpopo, Gauteng, and Mpumalanga. We also invited the ministers of police, social development, justice, and so forth, to let them know how the blind and the partially sighted community feels about everything. We want to be included in everything. Not that for us to access information, there has to be a sighted person for there to help us. So they know we've been talking on radios, we've been making awareness campaigns about this, so the government knows. So what is left for us is for them to take action for implementation. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much for speaking to us and for the great work that the organisation does. And we look forward to this one small breakthrough for the blind and partially sighted female community in South Africa.